believed that one of the Valar watches over growing things. And those who tend them.
Welcome back, everybody. That, of course, was a scene from the hit series, Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power. It's a record-breaking fantasy series now, debuted to an audience of 25 million viewers. And look at who we got here. One of the stars of the show in studio with us. Everybody, please welcome Nazanin Boniadi to the studio.
Thanks.
Can you believe it? What is going on? 25 million? You all are a record-setting show. What does that feel like?
Oh, goodness. Thanks for having me, TJ. I feel like I'm pinching myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the 6-year-old me is like, what's happening right now? This is so incredible.
What is it about this show? Well, of course, with the books and, of course, the movies, there's a huge fan following, but still, did you see this coming?
I don't think any of us saw this coming, this juggernaut, but, you know, I think fantasy has this ability to allow us to explore our humanity. And I think that it's timeless, it's universal, and it makes sense that people would love it everywhere, you know.
And what about you? Were you look, you're an actor, so you know how to get into a role. You don't have to be a fan. You don't have to be a fantasy fan. But what kind of a fan of this type of genre and this type of fantasy were you before now you're on a hit show?
I mean, you know, I wouldn't have said before this moment that I even understood what fantasy is or what it can give us, you know. But I'm just thinking of all the lives it touches, because it takes you out of your life and allows you to dream, you know, and that's, I think, the beauty of it. I think I love playing Bronwyn because she's not only badass, and she's, you know, she definitely is an orc slayer, which, you know, who doesn't like defeating evil? Yeah, so it just, this role resonates with me, the project resonates with me on a very, very deep level. You
talk about fantasy, and it lets us step outside of ourselves to a certain degree, but you also have a connection with this character, and I'm trying to remember the way you put it. You said you love, like, the centerpiece of your character is love. Yes. It's all about love. So there's still some connections we can make even with a fantasy character.
Absolutely. I think, you know, it's about love, it's about betrayal and hope versus despair. It's all these themes that we experience in our daily lives. But what I love is that Bronwyn is driven by love. Her love for her son, her love for Arondir and her forbidden romance with the elf Arondir, and her love for her people. And that resonates with me on a very deep level. And
well, let's get into that for a moment. You talk about love and despair in your character now. That little girl that was born in Iran, whose family had to move to London, and you grew up there, but I think you've only been back to Iran once as a teenager. Yes. And now to see what's happening there. I want to talk about, yes, what's happening there with women and the uprising that's taking place, but just for you for a moment, how do you put in perspective that experience you had to now be sitting here with the opportunities you have? It's
surreal. I feel really honored. I feel proud. But I also, you know, I keep thinking of those girls who are out there protesting right now in Iran. Imagine if they had the opportunities that I had, you know, growing up, and the freedoms that I had growing up. I never take those freedoms for granted. They allowed me to get to this place. And I see the tenacity and the resilience of those girls protesting against their government at like the ages of 12. They're so young, and they're out there and protesting, and I draw strength and inspiration from them. And I know you've been very outspoken about what's happening there. We've seen uprisings, even in the past decade or so, a few uprisings that have been beaten back by the government there. Do you see something here that you're hoping is going to be different and a different result? It is different already, that women are leading. They've been a part of Upright. They are leading this current one. But what do you see here that you're hopeful that's going to be different? As you said, TJ, it's a female-led, what I think can be the first female-led revolution of our time. And I think, you know, men are joining in, men and women, Iranian men and women are standing shoulder to shoulder, striking fear into the heart of a regime that has built itself on segregating women. and separating them from men. And this is not just about compulsory hijab. It's about the fact that women are fighting to be protected against gender-based violence. There are no laws to do that in Iran. They can't sing solo in public. They can't dance in public. They can't ride a bicycle. They can't become president. They have no control over their own destiny. And yet they're more educated than the men. They're fighting with all they have, and we have to support them. We have to support the people of Iran find the freedom they deserve.
You have a huge platform now. Congratulations on it. But it sounds like you're never, ever going to stop speaking and using the platform you have.
That's right.
All right, Nazanin, it's so good to have you here in studio. Congratulations on everything. We want you to know, folks, Lord of the Rings of Power series is streaming now on Prime Video. If you're not watching, you're one of the few, apparently. So congrats again.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.